Check one, check two. Always gets turned way up. Well, hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We are here again. Thank you so much. We are tuning in. Just got the lineup from the Complete Athlete team, so thanks so much for that. But welcome, everybody, here online. Thank you for joining us on YouTube and Twitter. We are playing in the Great 8 Baseball Tournament, a USSSA event out here in the Capital Federal Sports Complex of Liberty. That is Liberty, Missouri. Our MacNSeitz 14U team earning the #1 seed with 2 run rules in pool play. And I tell you what, sometimes pool play is just all about the draw that you get. But our boys doing what they needed to do, earning that #1 seed. And we are eager to see these boys come through and execute again here today. You know, we started out in the April Fool's Blast on our first tournament of the season. This is our second. And that first tournament of the season, we also earned a #1 seed. Ended up playing one of the teams that we had run ruled. And we ended up losing in the first round of bracket play. And so here we have history once again repeating itself. We're playing a team in the Complete Athlete who I do believe is well coached. I think you've got some talented kids on that team, and you know, yesterday was definitely not their day. You also have to put into the equation that that team traveled a great distance coming from Minnesota all the way down here to Missouri in order to play. I just want to be able to see right here. I got you. Yeah, no. Go ahead and go on up. So again, you know, that team traveling a great distance here, and you got to give some credit. They did go 1-1 in the tourney, earning an 8 seed, and that's why we are playing them here again today. So a whole brand new day and a whole brand new game, so nothing can be taken too lightly. I'm sure the Complete Athlete team is looking to get a little bit of revenge here, and so hopefully our MacNSeitz team will show up and do what we know that they are so capable of doing. The coaches meeting is going on right now here at home. Take that little logo off, and it looks like the meeting is all set and done. Due to the #1 seed, our MacNSeitz team does draw that home advantage today, and so they will take the field. Looks like we are going to have Logan Peterson starting out on the bump for us today. I am doing my best to stay out of the wind, and it's not working out so well, but I'm going to do what I can. Missing my stat sheet here. Let me see if I can pick it up. I'm in a doggone weather pod, and it's not easy to get in and out of without it blowing away. I should have brought some of my sandbags. Here we go. I wanted to give everybody a little insight onto some of Logan's pitching here early this season. So obviously our second tournament of the season here in 2023. Boys meeting just outside the dugout there with the coaching staff. Talking about expectations, talking about strategy, and getting ready to team up here and do what they can. So there it is, boys taking the field. All right, and so here's our lineup for today. Leading off for MacNSeitz, and our roster is going to be Reed Eckert, followed by Ryder Votaw, Paul, and I just talked to his mother. It's Paul McCliney, right? Yeah. And so here all this fall season and here early spring, I've been saying it as McCliney and as McCliney. So I'm so thankful that she was able to correct me on that. Followed up by Jacob Larson, Logan Peterson, Harrison Perkins back on the lineup today, so that's great to see him back here out here on the field. Followed by Tucker Lee, Austin Strength, Brooks Carr, Evan Book, and Grant Kelly. So still missing a couple of guys out of our normal roster, and Odie Saxton playing high school ball and not eligible to play for us right now, but here will at the end of May. And then also missing Arlo Mai, so greatly missed is Arlo. He's suffered with a little bit of a small back injury, and or lower back injury rather, and so he is working hard to get healthy and get back to, thank you so much, and get back to everything. So now looking at the complete athlete roster, so they're starting out with Oslowski, followed by A.J. Whiting, Klungseth, Resendez, Wrench, Lindgren, Koski, Bowman, and Bradley. So looks like they've got a couple of about three substitutes, Marin, Jolkowski, and Tostos. So we'll see if they enter the game at some point. But Logan Peterson again out here on the bump, warming up, and is very nearly just about ready. So far this year he's pitched 4 innings, played in and pitched in a couple of games, had 1 start, so he's earning his second start here. And I'll tell you what, ERA at 5.25, but with hitters in position, just 1.25. He's got 5 strikeouts on the season, and I'll tell you, he's been very consistent. I think he hits the zone well. And some of those other efforts, we didn't have quite some of the fielding behind him that we needed. So everybody just a little bit rusty here in early spring. And so it seems to me they've been getting just a little bit better with every game, as you might expect. So throw goes down, and we are all set to rock and roll. Leading off for the complete athlete is Oslowski. Fly ball, this one over to second base, and Harrison Perkins collects that one with no issue. So 1 pitch and 1 catch, and I'll tell you what, that's great efficiency. A.J. Whiting fouls that one off the tip of the bat. And Peterson's starting out another batter down in the count, so missing just outside there, and that'll even up your count at 1-1. Pop up, this one left side, third baseman calling for it. Let it go! Oh my goodness. Almost made a fatal error right there. That is Austin Strength out there at third base. Wind is swirling significantly today, folks, and I tell you what, it is a chilly one. Old man Winter, we thought had gone to sleep and out for the season, but unfortunately rearing his ugly head here, and a pop out that Strength was not able to track down, actually bounced in fair territory, and then fortunately because of the wind and the spin on the ball, it bounced into foul territory. Austin almost touched that ball, which would have made it fair. And Larson with a strikeout there, number 1 on the day. So 2 batters and 2 outs, and MacNSeitz making quick work of Complete Athlete here early in top of the first, but still 1 more out to go, and that's going to bring up Klungseth to bat. Pop up, out of play. That one down in the dirt, away, and now a 1-1 count. You know, I missed saying it yesterday, even though I was reminded by my son, Tucker Lee, yesterday was Jackie Robinson Day. So you saw all across the bigs as this one is fouled out of play. All across the bigs yesterday, everybody wearing the number 42 in remembrance, or in maybe not remembrance, but in honor of Jackie Robinson Day. There's the word I was looking for. This one just wide, and now a 2-1 count. Klungseth stepping into the box, digging in, and Peterson from the windup. This one, line drive right up the middle. That is going to be a base hit. And Complete Athlete, while they started out with 2 outs, now on base and looking to get things rolling. Looks like they have a courtesy runner coming out for Klungseth. And now Peterson will work from the stretch. Swing and a miss for strike 1, and every batter that Peterson has faced so far has started out down in the count, with the exception of the first batter who swung on and popped up on the first pitch. Back pick over at first, and Complete Athlete well back in time. That is Resendez at the plate for the Complete Athlete. Ball missing high. I tell you what, I am in this weather pod, and it is sitting on my head right now. This wind is significant, but without it, man, I don't know if I could actually do any kind of commentary because the wind is so significant. Big swing and a miss right there. That'll even up the count at 2-2. So as we played yesterday, playing at noon yesterday, as the game wore on, the temperature got colder and colder, and by the time we got out of here, I think everybody was just about frozen. A number of teams still having yet to play later on in the day. As Peterson steps back onto the rubber, now with a full count. Resendez fouls that one right side, well out of play. But that cold weather came in and sat, and then here overnight got colder and colder. So, you know, it looks like we're going to get up into the 50s at some point today. But you can see the wind whipping on these boys' uniforms. And Resendez earns a walk right there. That'll put runners on first and second, and McLiney not seeing that this was a walk, so making an unneeded throw, but no difference. That brings up TJ Wrench to the plate. and he fouls that one back. Logan continuing to find the zone consistently, starting out ahead in the count. And always interesting to see what the kids decide to pitch, what they go with, especially when they get up in the count. And nice looking strike there. So Peterson working the outside of that plate pretty consistently here. Haven't seen him go back on the inside too often. And Wrench doing a good job swinging away right there. Protecting the plate, he fouls that one back and earns another pitch. Curveball, that one gets away from McCliney, and runners will advance uncontested. So now 2 in scoring position. MacNSeitz with 2 down, no runs on the board, and looking to get out of this inning without any damage. 1-2 count to Wrench. He fouls this one out of play. And, you know, that's what I'll say about Complete Athlete for sure yesterday. Freely swinging away, going out and doing their best to attack the pitchers and attack the pitches coming into them. Not looking for a ton of walks, and that's, you know, one of those things. If you're going to play ball, let's get after it. And I definitely think that the Complete Athlete have done their best to do that. Obviously, MacNSeitz coming out on top just yesterday, but we're playing the game here for a reason. And this game still easily can go either way here at top of the first. Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 2 for Larson. That'll take us to bottom of the first. And boys look to be in good spirits. Weather not looking like it's perturbing them too much, but I got to tell you from, you know, a pitching standpoint, Logan doing a fantastic job, man. I can barely feel my hands out here. And I think pitching and feeling the seams and getting the right release off of that ball. And this wind, I'm telling you, it's got to be going 20, 30 miles an hour sustained with larger gusts. Oh, my goodness. So right now I don't have too much game audio at all coming through, because all you're going to hear is just a significant wind blast. Take a short break right here.
Does your company...
All right, Reed Eckert stepping into the box and leading off for MacNSeitz. And takes a nice off speed for strike 1. And 2 pitches, 2 strikes. That is number 14, Klungseth on the hill for the complete athlete. And swing and miss. That's strike 3. And that'll be 1 down for CA. That brings up number 3, Ryder Vota. Takes that one inside. Looked a little bit high, but definitely probably a hittable pitch. Ryder has a nice cut on that one, fouls it back. Oh my gosh, this wind is out of control. Ryder calls time and steps out of the box to reset. And Klungseth does the same. Swing and a miss right there, and Klungseth retires the 2 first batters via strikeout. And that's going to bring up number 44, Paul McCliney. This kid absolutely had himself a day yesterday, going 3 for 3 with a 2 RBI double and a 2-run home run. Started with the single, almost hit the cycle. So just missed the cycle by a triple. Puts this one into play, and I believe it's a foul ball. Thank you. Oh, man. Thank you. All right, so Paul on top of that first one. And continues to rip him down the left side here, just a bit early on the pitch. But seeing the ball well and making such a huge difference in that game yesterday. Obviously wanting to continue that same energy here. A nice rip there. That's a line drive, and third baseman hauls that one in. That is going to be out number 3. So in a drastic difference from yesterday where MacNSeitz got up early 5-0 in the first inning. Complete athlete going 1-2-3. And that'll take us over to the second inning. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, so today in bracket play today, this is single elimination. So if you want to stay, you have to win. In order for MacNSeitz to pull out their bid on a championship here, they'll have to win 3 games back to back to back. So no break in between gameplay. Games set for an hour and 40 minutes. So there would be supposedly about 20 minutes in between each game, but I know how the officials will run this, and they'll do their best to get teams in and get play going. So oftentimes when I see bracket play, you know, what we'll have is a couple of games back-to-back, then a game in between, and then a championship slated to start at 6. This one's starting right at 4 o'clock. So if we were able to be successful against the complete athlete here, we would obviously move forward in the bracket. And that game's scheduled to start at 2 o'clock. Take a quick moment here to talk about our platinum sponsor for our 23 season. And these are the good folks at Van Horn Land and Cattle, a family-owned and operated farm in Kansas. And you can check them out on Facebook. They are big on community, and we are big on them for supporting local youth athletics. Their donation supports these young men training and playing America's pastime. So a huge shout-out to them and everyone out at Van Horn Land and Cattle. Thank you guys so much for your donations. Greatly helpful and the pursuit of our 2023 season. All right, and here we go for top of the second. Logan starts this one down, and an 0-1 count. Catches the outside corner on that one, and now a 1-1 count. I tell you what, pitching and playing ball here is gonna be a difficult one today. Ooh, no. Missing that ball outside. And now, full count. Ball in play. This one over the left side. Handled by Votaw. And he legs that one out, folks. Give him some credit. He was flying down that first base line. And I apologize, I did not have that on the right camera. It looked like possibly Strength was going to have a play on that. Got through by him, and then so Votaw scooped that one up and made a good throw over, but Complete Athlete legging that one out. Looked like they were on a hit and run, but that one fouls back. Fly ball left side is going to be close. That is foul. And runner returns to first. Peterson, of course, working from the stretch with a runner on base. That is number 10, Koski, at the plate for Complete Athlete. Number 15, Lindgren, on first. Pop up this one, going to be just out of play. So I was talking with some of our players here after the game yesterday, and there were several of them that felt like Complete Athlete had some pretty good hitters. As the ball gets by McCliney for a pass ball and runner advances uncontested. But that was just the general sentiment from the MacNSeitz guys, saying that they really felt like they were a bit lucky and that where some of those hits and things ended up going and stuff like that ended up creating some outs. But I think many of them were discussing the fact that they didn't want to take Complete Athlete lightly here. And so I felt like that was a good thing to hear, especially early today. Many of us showing up pretty early for some warm-ups. And a nice pitch there as Koski fouls that one off the end of the bat. So still a 2-2 count. Or is that a 3-2 count? Oh, my goodness. Umpire wearing some thick gloves today, and who can blame him? Oh, and a strikeout there, number 3 on the day for Peterson. Continues to really do a good job of working that outside corner. So just a modest lead out at second. Swing and a miss. That's going to be Bowman out at the plate right now. Oh, he's looking to get some things going. I think he kind of chased that one maybe just a bit high. And Peterson saying, hey, I'll take it. Oh, a little bit of an overthrow on that one. Wild pitch. And runner advances over to third and easy scoring position. So just one down here, top of the second. No run scored. So my pocket radar not registering anything right now because the the mount that holds it up swinging in the wind. But I'll tell you, Peterson looks like he's throwing pretty hard today right now. I'll see if I can't get that fixed. Swing and a miss. He blows that one right by Bowman. I mean, if I'm Peterson right here, I'm going to stick with the heat. Bowman was nowhere near that one. Late swing and a miss there. And I think Peterson actually got him with a changeup. My pen not working, so I'm going to end up losing count, but I believe that's strikeout number 4 for Peterson. Gotta love the cold in the wind, right? Knocking my pocket radar down. My pen's not working. My gosh. Peterson has that one down in the dirt here early, and that's an 0-1 count to Bradley. And right down the pipe on that one. A 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. And 1-2 to Bradley. So runner on third. MacNSeitz looking to close things out here for the second inning. And they do so right there with another strikeout by Logan. Continuing to pound the zone and be aggressive on the plate. Looking really, really good. So some good energy I see out here on the dugout side. Team meeting just outside the dugout talking about, hey, let's get some things going with the bats here. Just like yesterday, let's stay aggressive out at the plate and get something going here. So still all tied up, 0-0. And we had a feeling that Complete Athlete would be pretty game today. I'm going to take a small break here and see if I can't get that pocket radar back up again. All right, folks. And Larson starts off with a swing and a miss. You know, I think this is one of the things that I talked with my son Tucker Lee about as he fouls that second pitch back and starts out 0-2 is trying to be patient up at the plate and get a little deeper in the count. You tend to get better pitches to hit. And so different schools of thought like, hey, let's be aggressive. And Larson's been hitting really well. So that getting out and getting after it early, you see a lot of variance in the guys playing in the bigs, and there are definitely certain players that like to hit early in the count, others that want to work a little bit deeper. And he works this one back even to a 2-2 count. Nice stroke right up the middle, and that's going to be good for a single as Larson gets a leadoff runner on base, and that's going to bring up big number 3-5, Logan Peterson. Logan obviously looking to help himself out here as he is the pitcher on record. Larson goes. He gets a little bit of a late jump, but he is up easily. I think we looked at this yesterday, and Complete Athlete, I believe they used 3 different catchers yesterday, so doing a good job of spreading out the workload. And I believe when we saw the young man behind the dish right now, looks like that is number 32, Bradley. Good pop time, quick feet, quick hands. Maybe not the arm strength that a couple of the other catchers may have had. Big swing and a miss. And Logan Peterson is like, man, I wanted a piece of that one. He was a little bit frustrated, and probably rightfully so. Let's see what he can do with this next one. That one high and outside. Full count. Modest lead at second. Swing and a miss. And that'll be out number 1. So Peterson frustrated. He really wanted a piece of that. And got this pocket radar up and working. Looks like pitch is sitting pretty consistently in the low to mid 60s. So right kind of in that sweet spot for most of our guys. That brings up Harrison Peterson. So he takes one high. That one coming in 67. Harrison not able to join us Friday or Saturday, but back in the lineup again today, and plus speed runner. Seeing the ball well here early in the season, and really, I don't know exactly how it happens, and sometimes this is just the way that it goes, but he's been putting the ball in play quite a bit, and his average really not showing that. But when you sit here and watch these guys and see what's going down, oh, and he gets a strike there. I felt like that one was pretty high. Now 1-2 count. But he did have in our first tournament, I believe, against the Joko Storm, a nice 2 RBI single. Ooh, missing just outside. Now 2-2 count. If you guys take a look at our YouTube channel, we have a number, all of our past live streams are there for you to see, and some other various videos. We're starting to do some YouTube shorts on some of these highlights. And Harrison with a big swing and a miss. That one was well behind the pitch. And that'll be 2 down. So runner on second. Larson has not challenged catch to get over to third. Larson's got good speed. I wouldn't say he's got plus speed, but he's got good speed. And that brings up number 27, Tucker Lee, to the plate. Ball in. Duggar got a hold of one yesterday, man. Absolutely crushed to the gap between center and left going oppo. Tends to be kind of a little bit of his power alley. And pops this one up right side. Second baseman looks like he's calling for it. Wind is swirling. Oh, first baseman comes out of nowhere and gets that one. Wow. And so complete athlete getting out of that inning. MacNSeitz leaving one stranded, same as complete athlete. And that's going to take us to top of the third. So close matchup here. And for a team that MacNSeitz run ruled yesterday, I think on a 14-1 deal in maybe in the fourth or fifth. I'd have to go back and take a look. But definitely they're showing up with their A game today and looking for a challenge here as they continue their bid for a championship. Umpire's talking with Logan Peterson. I don't know. Oh, I think he was asking for a different baseball. That's what it was. So boys hustling out to the field, still looking like they've got good energy and confidence. It'll be interesting to see if this game remains tight. Can they maintain that level of confidence as complete athlete is sticking around? All right, good deal. So I've got another young man here to hop on with us here. So turn around with the mic on the right side there. There you go. Put that down. And joining us here, as I've asked him to a couple of times, is Odie Saxon, playing for our MacNSeitz team, but ineligible to play for us right now because you're playing high school ball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have this down in order for us to hear you. Well, thanks for joining us.
Of course.
Absolutely. So you've made it out to a number of the games, and even with your busy schedule, you guys are practicing, what, probably 5 days a week?
Yeah, we usually practice most of the days we don't have games.
Okay. And so what's your practice schedule looking like?
So usually we go after school, and it starts at 2:45, so it's about 30 minutes after school ends until like either 4:30 or 5:30, depending if we're inside or outside.
Gotcha. Are you guys doing any mornings or anything?
In the mornings? No, not at the moment. We did at the beginning of the year before the tryouts, though, for hitting and some catch.
Gotcha. Yeah, just kind of get you tuned up for the season and everything. Well, I tell you what, what high school is it that you're playing for?
Lee Summit North.
Lee Summit North, okay. And how's your guys' season going so far?
We were 3-6, but most of us saw a lot of walks. We're just really beating ourselves.
Gotcha. Yeah. That's always tough, and especially when we've had some fairly cold weather. Trying to get things going in the early spring I think it's always tough.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and what positions are you playing right now for Lee Summit North?
Mainly first. I played a little bit of second and gotten on the mound a couple times.
No kidding. A little pitching action. That's nice.
Yeah.
How'd you do out on the bump?
Good. I had no hits, no walks against Liberty North.
Ooh, Liberty North, man. They're a tough squad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So Tuck is in that Liberty school district, and
really?
he'll end up playing next year for Liberty, hopefully. And they've got a couple of pretty strong teams up there. Logan, unfortunately, with a walk right there on the first batter. Looks like there's a little – okay, that's what it is. And Coach is calling for a quick time so he can go out there for a mound visit and all that. I know typically for MacNSeitz here, you've played first, but you haven't actually pitched too much, have you?
No.
Yeah, that'd be good to get you out there on the bump, man. No walks. That's always a key.
I know. Yeah.
A key metric, man. Getting it in the zone and trying to trust your fielders behind you, right?
Yeah. Walks is what kills.
I mean, it really does, especially after you have a couple of strikeouts. Next thing you know, they've got some late life in the inning with a couple of walks and all that and everything. So. Obviously, MacNSeitz earning the #1 seed in 2 tournaments back-to-back here for bracket play. First in the April Fool's Blast, and then as the runner goes, ball caroms off the glove for McCliney, and the runner gets up to second uncontested. And Logan struggling a little bit with some accuracy here early in the top of the third as we made quick work through the first 2 innings. But I lost my train of thought. It looks like Logan steps off. He's trying to just kind of reset mentally, I think, and all that. But MacNSeitz doing a good job, but then just not coming up with what they needed to in bracket play, and actually getting a pretty big upset. Another pass ball and another base given up. So just like you said, I mean, Odie, like a walk comes around, and the next thing you know, now he's out on third. We got no runs in the game, and he's in scoring position with no outs, right?
Yeah, that's always tough to work with. It's hard to manage that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, gosh, man, I appreciate you joining me here. I know it's just one of those things where I'm sure it probably feels a little awkward, right?
Yeah.
Kind of talk about it and everything. Now, which of these guys, do any of these other guys, are they going to be headed to Lee Summit North?
No, Harrison, Perkins, and Ryder are headed to Lee Summit West, though.
Okay. Yeah, so right in that same school district, but just not in the same boundaries there. So they'll be headed to West. I know I've talked with Kevin Vota, Ryder's dad, quite a bit, and I know Ryder's definitely looking forward to which of the two are better?
West they have a stronger program. For sure.
Oh, man. You're brave saying something like that. But you know what? Having some realism and things like that, too. I mean, it's always good to have a healthy dose of reality as you face your competition and do what you can with it. Now, do you play any other sports?
No.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, so baseball's it, huh? All right. Well, fantastic, man. I appreciate you hopping on there. It always gives me something a little bit extra to talk about. So what are the guys talking about in the dugout? What have the coaches been saying?
Just that we need to have more focus, want to be here more, because it's going to come down to that, especially with this cold weather and all this wind. It's going to come down to who wants to be here more.
Absolutely. And I think that's really a good thought to put in the guys' heads, how much do they want it, right? Because playing in this cold is kind of miserable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is not fun, especially when if you don't catch a barrel, your hands are broken.
yeah, they're vibrating, they're ringing, yeah, for sure, man. You're sitting there wringing your hands. Nothing good about that. And I tell you what, I would not really want to be pitching right now either. As you're trying to feel those seams come off the ball and everything. It's a little tough. These guys, you can see them, they're all kind of moving and shifting in their spots, doing their best to try and stay warm.
Yeah, so you just can't stop moving because you need to keep that blood flowing and
absolutely, and
stay warm.
A wild pitch by Larson right there, and a lot of vocal action coming from the complete athlete. So they're dugout excited. They got two runners in scoring position, nobody down. And, man, I hope we're not repeating history here where we're going to allow a team to beat us in bracket play that we run ruled in pool play, right?
Yeah, that is never fun.
No.
Coach is never happy about that either.
Definitely not, right? But, and I think it's one of those things that the players, I mean, you guys probably chew on that all week long, right, as you wait for your next tourney?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I remember after last tournament in the group chat, it was definitely a hot topic after that loss on Sunday.
Yeah, just trying to keep the thoughts positive and working towards a proactive way as Logan works back towards a full count here. Fly ball left side. This one's going to – Vota is able to get that one down, and so that was right into the wind. The ball just completely died. I thought that was headed towards the left fielder for sure, which would have been, I believe, Brooks Carr, but Vota tracking that one down and a nice out right there, preventing any runs. I've been sitting in my weather pod trying to block out this wind and all that, but I tell you what, I'm going to let you head back to the dugout. And, man, thank you so much. Good luck with the rest of your high school season. When are we going to expect to see you back with MacNSeitz?
Soon after May, or maybe during May. I'm not. I know the first tournament that I'm back, my brother has graduation that Sunday, so I won't be there for Sunday, but I'll be there for Friday and Saturday.
Nice, absolutely. So brother's graduating, huh?
Yeah.
And where's he heading off? What's his plans afterwards?
He's going to Mizzou.
No kid.
For an engineering degree or something.
Nice. All right, well, we'll wish him luck on that, and we'll look forward to seeing you here maybe mid to late May, and eager to have you back in the lineup. I know we love having your glove over there at first, and definitely a good bat too. So good luck with the rest of your season, man.
Thank you.
All right. So again, guys, that was Odie Saxon joining us here and adding a little commentary. Always good to hear what's going on in the dugout. And Logan just really struggling here in top of the third. Uh-oh. Okay. and Logan just kind of running over at the runner on third, maybe not paying as much attention as he should have. But super strong first and second inning. And throws another walk right there. Looks like coach was calling for time, and he wants to visit with the guys. Oh, it looks like he is going to make a pitching change here, guys. And so obviously here in bracket play, Logan, one of the guys that is throws for us quite a bit. Obviously we've got 2 more games to play if we were to make a championship bid. And so Logan going out right now has got to be a little frustrated with some walks and whatnot, but performed, really well in innings 1 and 2. And so I would imagine that if we are fortunate enough to pull out a win here against the complete athlete, that we may see Logan either in the game 2 or more likely game 3. So it just depends on how these games go. And obviously MacNSeitz still has to come up with a W right here in order for that to even happen. So Jacob Larson, let's take a look at his stats. I tell you what, he's only pitched just, I believe, just the one time. Let me look. No, he has actually he has pitched in 2 different games, but has performed incredibly well. The opposing batting average against Larson has only been 143. So right now, no ERA and no runs have been scored against him. He tends to throw kind of upper 60s and fastball. He has a little bit of an unusual delivery, and I think that adds to some of his success. Tuck and I were watching some other pitching, and I want to say, gosh dang, was it? I think it might have been the San Francisco Giants, and there's a pitcher on there who really just does a great job of what they call hiding the ball, right? And so as you bring your lead leg up, and where your hand's at, where's that ball at, and if the batter can't see the ball until it's actually coming around, every little second that happens in that delivery. And I think Jacob kind of has a good ability to kind of hide that ball a little bit. So his delivery is just a little unique. He looks like he is ready to go. So complete athlete in good shape right here. They've got the bases loaded, just 1 down. And MacNSeitz looking to get out of this inning. Swing and a miss for strike 1. That's number 35, TJ Wrench, for complete athlete at the plate. Ball in play. This one over to Votag. Could be a double play type ball. Oh my gosh, and an error. So Wrench will reach on air, and Votag doing a great job. Gloved that one, threw it over, and Harrison fumbled the ball over there at second. So no outs, and complete athlete now on the board. 1-0. Bases continue to be loaded and just 1 down. As Larson hits this next batter, number 2. I think that would have been, is that Lindgren? Or we have a substitution there. I don't know, but regardless, another run scores with a hit by pitch. Man, I tell you what, I was excited. I thought that was a perfect double play ball. As Koski fouls that one back. I thought that was going to be a perfect double play ball right to Votag. Handled it well, got it quickly over to Harrison, and man, I thought we were going to have a real good chance at 2 right there. A little bit of a wild pitch. That one down in the dirt, but just popping up off of the plate. Foul ball left side. And now 1-1 count. And so important to note here from an ERA standpoint, those runners that were on base were actually all going to be towards Peterson's ERA and not Larson's. And Paul with a nice block right there, keeping that ball in front of him and protecting what could have been another run coming down the line. Doesn't look like Complete Athletes taking any chances right now. Only one down, so moderate leads all across the way. Looks like the corners are playing even with the bag. Ball in play over to third, and he's going for two. They get the runner out at second, but another run comes across, and that's a fielder's choice. A little surprised that Strength didn't go to try to get that lead runner in the base path out there at third, but he does get an out, and that's two down. Runner goes, and completely uncontested. Runners on second and third now. Score 3-0. And a nice fastball right there, 64 miles an hour, right down the pipe. Oh, same spot, but a ball. I don't know. That one may be just a bit inside. I'm not quite sure exactly where that missed, but a 1-1 count now. Runners on second and third. Ball in play over to short. Votaw. Oh, with an errant throw and another error. 2-run score. And I tell you what, the Complete Athlete team is absolutely pumped up, as they should be, and their fan base as well, who traveled all the way from Minnesota to see these guys compete. And just nothing going right for MacNSeitz right now. Wheels kind of falling off of the bus. So a number of errors leading to some runs that really, man, tough. Larson keeping it in the zone there. 65-mile-an-hour fastball. Starting Bradley off with a strike. This one down in the dirt, but Paul digs it. Now a 1-1 count. Let's see if Larson can get this batter here. Swing and a miss. So I'll tell you, Larson with, I think he had a number of strikeouts. Yeah, 4 strikeouts across his 2 short appearances here earlier this spring. So definitely capable of getting it by some of these guys. A nice block. Runner goes. Oh, man. Paul had the perfect block, and I thought he was going to nail that runner over at third. But he bobbled the ball as he bent down to pick it up. Smacking his glove and showing a ton of frustration. Swing and a miss, and that's strikeout number 1. That will retire the side, and thankfully MacNSeitz gets out of the inning without any further damage. But my goodness, a 5-0. A 5-run inning that really should not have been a 5-run inning at all. A number of errors, throwing, catching, and those are the things that just absolutely kill. It's the difference between, a win and a loss and things like that. But I definitely could have seen maybe 1 run getting through that inning. But to have 5, MacNSeitz has some heavy lifting to do here in bottom of the third. So they have a short little meeting out there outside the dugout, and they quickly make their way back into the dugout. Everybody ready to hit and get after this Complete Athlete team. But, when you have a lot of good hitting happen, man, it's interesting how that translates over into the fielding side, right? And so when you're feeling confident, at the plate, and you've had a great half inning, that oftentimes can translate through on the fielding side of things. So a lot of fun to watch how that can change things. But we'll see if maybe a little bit of grit and tenacity can come through for MacNSeitz, as we're going to look to get something going. Leading off for us this inning is going to be Austin Strength, followed by Brooks Carr. And so we're going to be towards the bottom of our lineup here. And then, let me see here, Brooks Carr, and then followed by Evan Book. So I'll take a quick moment here, talk about one of our silver sponsors for this season. That's the team out of Village Pediatrics, specializing in comprehensive services for children from birth through adolescence. They continue their support and care of the community through their services, and also here by supporting the young men at MacNSeitz. So if you're looking for a pediatrician, we'd recommend you check them out. That's Village Pediatrics, where kids come first. So Austin starts off with 2 quick strikes. One looking, one swinging as he chased one high and outside. And this is where that discipline part of your batting really has to kind of come in. So you got a lot of energy, a lot of frustration. You want to get it out and kind of punish that baseball with your bat. But you want to make sure that you're getting good pitches and you're going after good ones. Starting out down in the count, always tough to come back from. And a strike 3 call looking. That's going to bring up number 5, Brooks Carr. Ball inside. I always feel like Brooks is he does a good job of being patient at the plate, and that's kind of what I've been sitting here talking about on the last couple of batters. And now 1-1 count. So Klungseth doing a good job out there on the bump. And Brooks fouls that one out of play. Looking at these mounds, I got to tell you, man, they're just absolutely ridiculous. Look at how small this mound is, and Klungseth starting out all the way on the right side of the rubber. I mean, he's literally pitching from the side of the mound. Brooks pops this one up, and it is out of play. Still a 1-2 count. I just really feel that, you know, a beautiful field like this, beautiful facility. You got turf infields, beautiful grass outfield. On the other side, they have complete turf all the way around, and great facility. I just feel like, man, how can you go so short with it and not have an actual real mound? These tiny little portable mounds are just not the ticket. And a strike 3 call looking. So that's 2 batters not swinging on a 3rd strike, and that one right down the pipe. Obviously, boys a little frustrated with that, and that's going to bring up number 11, Evan Book. Evan takes one inside, nods his head. So patient to start, but down in the count. Hard hit ball. This is a nice one. This is over the left fielder's head. Evan Book, not super fast on the base pass, but he's going to be up with a double. And so he's going to get some things going. Oh, my goodness. He slid across second base, and he narrowly escaped an out as that throw came in. Second baseman right there taking that throw, and Brooks was actually off the base here for a moment. Nice stroke, though, and a good hit to get some things going. Let's see if we can't maybe get a 2-out rally going. And that's going to bring number 10, Grant Kelly, with his first at-bat today. Chases one high, but puts the bat on it. Down the left side, foul. And an 0-2 count now to Kelly. Looking to protect that plate. So see what that two-strike approach looks like. Wild pitch. Runner goes. This one's going to be close, folks. Evan Book is able to make it up, and he's now in good scoring position. As Grant Kelly's looking to help get MacNSeitz on the board. Turns on that one again, and Pepper and the Complete Athletes coaching staff out there outside the dugout. So good at bat by Kelly here. Now an even count, 2-2. Oh, swings at a high one, and that's going to do it for the half inning. MacNSeitz once again leaving a runner stranded, and a Complete Athlete up 5-0 here in top of the fourth. MacNSeitz quickly making their way out onto the field, and these guys wanting to get through this half inning quickly so they can get back out to bat. So defensively, just looking at where we've got some of the guys, and obviously talking with Odie Saxon here earlier in the broadcast, not able to play with us, and so defensively, when you got guys that play certain positions pretty frequently, like right now we have Arlo Mai out, who so often plays out at third. Looks like Austin Strength is sitting in that third base spot. Harrison Perkins, who so often plays outfield, is playing second base, and at least earlier in the game. And so some defensive substitutions right now. We got Austin Strength at third, Ryder Votan, as we consistently see, at short. Now Grant Kelly at second base, and then we've got Logan Peterson at first. Jacob Larson up on the bump with McCliney behind the dish. Looks like Tucker Lee is going to be in. Where did he go? Oh, he's over there in right field. That's kind of a surprise. And then we got Reed Eckert in center, and looks like Brooks Carr in left. So that's going to be the top of the lineup here for the Complete Athlete. That's Ozlowski in the plate. And he hits that one off the end of the bat right back towards pitch. And that's going to be one pitch and one out. So a little something that MacNSeitz definitely needed. That should bring up A.J. Whiting to the plate. And a swing and a miss. Fastball, that one coming in 63 miles an hour. Larson working from the stretch. Ball down the left side, it rolls foul. And now an 0-2 count to Whiting. Another ball right back to pitch. Larson gets that one, and that'll be out number 2. So this will bring up the pitcher, Klumseth. I do apologize if I'm saying that wrong, young man. Done a good job for Complete Athlete out there on the bump, and obviously hoping for his efforts to continue. And Larson missing just inside. Now 2-0 count. Looks like one of the complete athlete guys lost his oven mitt. Little chopper left side, that is foul. Hard hit ball. This one gets by first base, and then he will be up for a single. They do a courtesy runner for Klungseth over there at first. And that's going to bring up Resendez to the plate. And a bit of a wild pitch. Runner advances, and that's kind of been the name of the game here today, is some inconsistency in the pitching, a number of pass balls or wild pitches equating to some extra bases, and then some untimely errors. Big high right side, and completely misplayed out there in right field. That'll make our contest now 6-0 in favor of the complete athlete. And I'm not sure if Tucker Lee lost his footing. It certainly looked like he did. Another fly ball, this one right side. And that wind is just swirling. I don't know. He's now misread 2 fly balls to the right side back to back. And just absolutely frustrating to see. Something getting in the air, you want to see that being hauled in, and so runners on the corners and 2 down. You know, and from a pitching standpoint, you got to think Larson's like, gosh, man, you know, I made such quick work of those first 2, and then got a couple of pop-ups. You know, those are ones you're counting on to be outs. And MacNSeitz not even contesting that runner from first over to second. I don't get that. Can't be giving up easy bases here. And a nice pitch there right down the middle. So Larson throwing really well, and got to get this defense behind him. Let's get the heck out of this inning. And a walk, that will load the bases.
All right, man, let's go, buddy.
That brings up Koski for the complete athlete to the plate as he ducks under ball number 1. I can't believe it. I'm just beside myself. This is like seeing 2 different teams play. And credit to Klungseth, who I think has pitched well, but he's not overpowering by any means. And so MacNSeitz just not getting any real bats going, with the exception of that nice double by Evan Book. Pop up, Larson calling for it. Nope, McCliney gets it. And that will be out number 3, thank goodness. Boys hustle in, and I'll tell you what, there is not a lot of energy in that dugout right now, so looking relatively quiet. We'll see if we can't get some energy going. We're going to start out at the top of our lineup. That's going to be number 8, Reed Eckert, followed by Ryder Votaw. And then Paul McCliney. So history almost looking to try to repeat itself here. In our first tournament of the season, MacNSeitz just making quick work of both their pool play games and just absolutely crushing. Earning that number 1 seed, and then coming out flat in bracket play game number 1, and upset by a team that they had run ruled, which is the Joko Storm. And hats off to them, coming in and being game and wanting to play and win. And so I don't know how much they fared later on in the tournament. I know they did not win it, but doing a good job of coming in, competing, and being ready to play. And Complete Athlete doing the same here. And it's interesting because all the boys are super aware of it, and I think that's why there was so much conversation after our game yesterday between the guys and out on the group chat saying, hey, we're not going to take these guys lightly here in bracket play. We want to win this tournament, and I think the boys truly believe that they can and that they're capable of it. They've got some great athletes on the team, some good fielding, and it's just not coming through here in execution. But there is still more game to go here, and just bottom of the 4th. And 6-0 is not an insurmountable lead. As Eckert takes a pitch down the middle for strike 1. Ball outside. And Eckert out well ahead of that one, tips it off the bat for a foul ball. And now behind in the count, 1-2. Eckert coming into this tournament with on-base percentage of .556. Let's see if he can figure out how to get this leadoff at-bat on base. And a curveball, that one called for a third strike looking, and Eckert really unhappy with it. That brings up Ryder Votaw. So Klungseth hits a strike on the outside corner. And a ball high. 1-1. So Klungseth shaking off the catch in that last pitch. And a strike 2 call. I will tell you, regardless of the count, Ryder always still looks very confident in the box. And swing and a miss on a nice curveball by Klungseth, and that's going to be out number 2. Strike call, that's a fastball, 68 miles an hour. And so that's kind of where Klungseth has been kind of topping out at, but sitting maybe a little more consistently in the 66, 67 range. That's now a 1-1 count. That one missing inside. As McCliney steps out of the box, takes a deep breath. Klungseth from the windup. Misses outside, and now 3-1 count. So if MacNSeitz is going to get anything going here, it's going to have to be done with 2 outs. And McCliney fouls this one back. Chasing that one high. That could have possibly been ball 4, but when you're taking that 2-strike approach, you got to protect the plate. He was able to put the bat on the ball, and that's exactly what he did there. Wind still coming in right at the batter from the outfield. And McCliney fouls another one. So interesting to hear Odie say, the coaching staff asking the boys, saying, hey, this game is going to come down to who wants it more, right? Yep, there's unfavorable environmental conditions. As McCliney puts this one into play, third baseman will handle it. And they got him. Wow, oh wow. So that takes us to top of the 5th. And MacNSeitz in danger here of getting knocked out in the first round of bracket play on a team that they beat 14-1 just yesterday. MacNSeitz will stick with Larson out here on the hill. And that gives me here at this half inning just one more opportunity to talk about another silver sponsor for us this year, and that is the folks out at Sally's Propane. Started as a family business. This was back in 1981 and continued to be family owned and operated. They have a long history of supporting local youth athletics, and that continues by supporting our MacNSeitz team here. Sally's Propane serves over 4,000 customers in 4 counties. So if you have a need for propane, do me a favor, check them out. They'll get you taken care of. That's Sally's Propane. So I'll be curious to hear what the coaching staff has had to say. Trying to get these things and these boys turned around. So certainly that win playing a factor in the inning last inning has somewhat abated. It's definitely not gone away, as you can sit there and see this on the players' uniforms, but it's certainly not sustained as strong as it was earlier. And here we go for the 5th. Larson from the stretch. This one into play and over to second base. And that's 1 pitch and 1 out. So Larson continuing to do a good job of getting some ground balls and getting some quick outs. Lost my little lineup cards here. So much wind. That's number 32, Bradley, in the box for Complete Athlete. And now 1-1 count. I like how Larson gets back up on the hill quickly, looking to get himself into a rhythm. Hard hit ball, this one left side. It is foul. And so Bradley, a lefty, taking that one opposite field. Now down in the count, 1-2. And Larson throws an off speed there, but that looks like something that they just never broke. Swing and a miss. And another strikeout for Larson. That brings up the top of their lineup, Ozlowski. And Larson starts him off with a strike down the pipe. Hard hit ball, this one up the middle, and Vota tracks that one down nicely. So Vota with a couple of nice plays here in today's matchup. And MacNSeitz making quick work of Complete Athlete. Let's see if they can get some something going here offensively. They will be kind of right in the meat of their lineup with Logan Peterson, Jacob Larson. Followed by Harrison Peterson. Or Harrison Perkins, rather. I'm sitting there looking at Logan Peterson's name and repeated that for Perkins. So, Complete Athlete looks like they are sticking with Klumseth. And he's pitched a good game, a scoreless game so far. Not a no-hitter, as MacNSeitz has made their way on base, and in particular Evan Book with a really nice stroke and a double out there, getting beyond the left fielder and center fielder. So I'll tell you what, man, this is it's coming down to it right now, and I guess one of the things I would like to see is I'd like to see everybody with their bats out of the dugout, swinging away and trying to time up Klungseth and get something going. But right now, just Logan Peterson out there swinging away. And Larson, of course, over here getting ready to step into the box. And this one buzzing the tower of Larson for ball number 1. Sun poking out behind from behind these clouds. And let's see if that can get a little shine on our MacNSeitz hitters. One right down the pipe. That's 2-1. And so again, I talked about that early. So Larson a little bit more patient here. Now in a positive pitch count. And a 3-1 count. And ball inside. So our lead-off batter making his way on base. Nobody down, and that brings up big Logan Peterson. Logan coming into the tourney not with any hits, but has hit here in this tourney. He had about a 500 on-base percentage and a couple of RBIs. Takes that first pitch for a ball. Big swing and a miss, and he's out way ahead of that. Fastball 67 miles an hour coming right down the pipe. Ball up. And MacNSeitz with a lot of heavy lifting to do here. I still just cannot believe that Larson has not made his way over to second base and challenged this catch who's not been able to throw anybody out. But coach not wanting to risk any outs. Now 3-1 count. Hard hit ball left side. This one is going to find some grass, and that'll be a single for Larson. I tell you what, that wind is just knocking everything down. That one I thought had some legs on it, and it certainly didn't because it dropped down in front of the fielder. And complete athlete coaching staff visiting the mound here. Talk to the catcher and the pitcher. And Klungseth nodding his head, looking like he's telling the coach he's doing well. So, and ball comes out from another field. That'll pause play here momentarily. So notably, the wind has died down. We have number 28, Harrison Perkins, up at the plate. And a strike outside corner. Harrison feeling like that one was outside as he kind of shook his head. Ball up high. Ball high. And so now I'm starting to hear some life in the dugout. Some of the MacNSeitz boys starting to talk a little bit, cheering on Perkins and looking to get something going. Big swing and a miss. Hard hit ball, center field. He goes back, and he's able to collect that one. That's going to be out number 1. That brings up number 27, Tucker Lee. He rips this one down the left side, or the right side rather, and misses just foul. And big swing and a miss right there. That one coming in a little high. It looked like Tucker was ahead of it. Ball up. Oh, and a strike 3 looking. Tucker looking at the umpire like absolutely not. Goes back to the dugout shaking his head in disbelief. That'll be 2 down. Runners on second and first. Score still 6-0 in favor of the complete athlete, as Austin Strength takes a ball outside. You talk about that two-strike approach a lot, and, you know, there's a lot of different schools of thought on that, knowing the strike zone and feeling like you're in good command of it. But as a batter, you don't have command of any strike zone. Strength puts one into play, line drive right up the middle, and that's going to be good for a single. That'll load the bases. But batters are never in charge of that strike zone, and so when you got two strikes, that two-strike approach is, hey, if I can get the bat on it, I need to be swinging away. That brings up number 5, Brooks Carr. And he takes a strike on the outside corner. Brooks with a strikeout on his last at-bat. Looking to bring home a run. And another strike. Brooks holds his hands out, palms up, looking at coach for, I don't know. Ball high. I'll say the plate umpire has been pretty consistent with a little bit of an extended zone. But, I mean, here we are in 5th inning. The boys should well know what the strike zone looks like now. And every umpire being just a little bit different. But I feel like the home plate umpire has been pretty consistent with those outside calls. So I don't see any point in these guys complaining. Honestly, Blue kind of giving that one to him. Brooks Carr now at a full count. Fly ball, this one caught by the shortstop, rather. And so MacNSeitz leaving 3 runners stranded. And just no luck here. If we don't come up with something big here shortly, history is repeating itself. Man, oh man. Just such a different outcome, and it's interesting, you know, because when we faced the JoCo Storm team in bracket play on that second day, and this is again the same thing where in day 2 we run rule a team, and then we see them on day 3, first day in bracket play, and not overpowering pitching, anything that seems you know that could make you think that, my gosh, these guys are just not going to be able to hit this young man and stuff like that. And that's not to take anything away from Klungseth, who's done a fantastic job out there on the bump today. But it's just interesting, the psychology of a hitter and a guy getting into a box and saying, hey, you know, we've had such great success. How do we not kind of keep that going? But makes you wonder about the, you know, making a couple of errors out there on the field, and then that doubt starting to creep into the back of the mind and then extending itself out here during the at-bats. But Larson still out here on the hill. Has done a very more than serviceable job here, I think, with his opportunity. And he appears to be warm and ready to go, so short half inning there. So top of the 6th, complete athlete up at the plate. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Paul with a nice dig right there. Now 1-1 count. It's A.J. Whiting at the plate. And Larson missing just low. Ball in 3-1, and Complete Athlete dugout and fan base, still awfully excited, and as they should be. And ball 4. So Complete Athlete getting a leadoff runner on base. Back pick over at first. And no going there. Klungseth at the plate. Hard hit ball left side. That one's going to get down for a single. And that'll put runners on first and second. With Resendez now at the plate. Larson continuing to work from the stretch. Ground ball, this one over to second. Harrison fields it, steps on second, and throws to first. And a double play. So a nice job by Perkins right there. Ball in play over to third. And Strength bobbles the ball. Run will score. And batter reaches on air. Score now 7-0. Coach Brady calling for a timeout. One to talk with Larson and McCliney. Telling the position players to stay put. Now visit now complete. So 2 pitches, 2 balls. McCliney with another back pick, and Complete Athlete well aware of that back pick from McCliney. This is Tostos up at the plate. And now working with a 3-0 count. And 4 pitches, 4 balls, and the Complete Athlete just continuing to kind of roll. And I think Coach Brady has now seen enough. He's going to be looking for the ball. He's going to bring out Tucker Lee, and so there will be a pitching change. So Tucker pitching so well against Complete Athlete yesterday, shutting them down, and I got to tell you, Logan Peterson didn't pitch poorly. Neither did Jacob Larson. And we got to get some fielding behind these guys. But just disappointing to not see us get some bats going and things like that. So we need to make quick work of this and see what we can't get going. Complete Athlete not having a ton of luck against Tucker yesterday. So maybe making sense to be able to bring it in and shut some things down and see if we can't get some bats going here late in the game. So I think Tucker with 5 strikeouts yesterday against the Complete Athlete. We'll see if he can't just come up with at least one more out right here. And looking a little wild here during his warm-ups. So it looks like a warm-up complete. I thought Tuck had a couple more pitches to go. But batter steps in. And game all set to go here. Starts off with a pickoff attempt over at second, trying to keep that runner honest over there. And runner on second. Runner on second, I think motioning over to the third base coach. And I think he pointed at his head like he's trying to get into the pitcher's head right now. So he's clapping his hands and doing what he can. We'll see if Tucker can focus on this batter. Wild pitch. Runner advances. And both runners advance. Now 1-0 count. Well, now with the runners nowhere else to go, Lee should be able to focus on the batter. Missing outside. And now 2-0 count. This is to number 10, Koski, for the complete athlete. Hard hit ball left side. That one gets by Austin Strength. 2 runs will score as Koski heads over to 2. And so any hope of trying to hold those runners goes away. Now 9-0. Paul McClenny is not able to dig that one. And Tucker up on the hill looking pretty disappointed. And McClenny can't come up with the ball. I don't know what's going on there. And another run scores. Unbelievable what we've got going here today. So now 10-0 and a 2-0 count. Lee needing to shut this one out. Oh, I don't know where that pitch was, but it was called for a ball. Must have been inside. And a strike call finally. That's a fastball coming in, 71 miles an hour. Now 3-1 count. Fouls this one out, and Lee battles back to a full count. I believe this is Bowman up at the plate, but I can't see his number. There it is, 00. So that is Bowman. Full count, 2 outs, nobody left on base. And Lee missing inside for ball number 4. Oh, man. Not what we expected to see from our MacNSeitz team today. Time now, 2 o'clock. And a strike call on a slide step. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. Field umpire saying that Vota dropped the ball. It was clearly still in his glove. I thought yeah, gosh. You know what? That's just the way that today's going, so. Another one down in the dirt. This one caroms off McClinney's chest plate to the right. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike one. So now a 1-1 count. Slider with a ton of spin on that and gets away from McClinney. And the runner advances. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Oh, that was strike three. My apologies. So Lee upset with himself, not able to close things out and protect the runners that were already on base. But nonetheless, still at least a half inning to go here, and MacNSeitz still has an opportunity. I don't know if these boys have it in their heads that they believe that. So let's see if we can't get a leadoff batter on base and get something going. I cannot believe that we're working on a shutout here. Looks like Complete Athlete is changing their pitcher this inning. And so Klungseth with a great effort out there on the mound and pitching a shutout against MacNSeitz. They will bring in number 12. That is Jolkowski. Well, folks, I'll take this opportunity to talk about those folks over at Reeve Roofing. These guys have been a team sponsor for our boys out on the field and all season long, and you have to check these guys out. They'll treat you like family and guide you through the insurance claim process. Obviously, roofing is what they do. They both on the residential and the commercial side, and they will lead you through that whole claim process. I know personally, I just went through roof replacement here earlier this year, and that insurance process can be a bit of a beast. So those folks will take you through the whole 9 yards and take care of everything for you. That's the folks at Reeve Roofing. Thanks again for your guys' donations and sponsorship of our MacNSeitz team. So Evan Book with a big double in his last at-bat. Let's see if he can't get something started for us. Patiently waiting on ball one just outside. Ground ball, this one over to third. And an errant throw, but he's able to still get the out. So 2 pitches and an out, and Complete Athlete continuing to have good efficiency here. That's bringing up number 10, Grant Kelly, to the plate. He fouls this one out of play. So Jolkowski not thrown with the same velocity as the last pitch. And a good looking off speed right there, but that one down in the dirt. Trying to get Kelly chasing it. Ball down. Now 2-2 count. Oh, and a strike call. Whew. Full count. Ball 4. So that brings up number 8, Reed Eckert, who was so frustrated with his last at-bat. Got called on a strike 3 looking. Starts off with the ball down, and defensively, a new catch for a complete athlete. This one is actually Klungseth. A curveball for strike 1. So interesting to see a pitch, a kid who goes from pitching the vast majority of the game to going to catcher just based off of that arm workload. And Reed chasing a bad curveball there for strike 2. Typically, I wouldn't like to see a kid throw as much as Klungseth did and then go over to a catching position where you know you're going to be throwing quite a bit back to pitch. Fly ball left side. And that one is brought in by the left fielder. That's going to be out number 2. And if MacNSeitz is going to have any life left, it's going to have to be done with 2 outs here and a 2-out rally. That brings up Ryder Votaw to the plate. Ball in play, right back to pitch. And that is going to do it for us here in the Grade 8 tournament. Hats off to Complete Athlete battling back and pitching a shutout against the MacNSeitz team. And honestly just can't quite believe it. Want to see these boys do so good, and I'm sure that there's a ton of baseball left in the season here. Boys will meet out here at midfield for some good sportsmanship. We're going to wish Complete Athlete good luck in the rest of their tourney, and MacNSeitz boys will have to go back to the drawing board and figure out how can they take their great play and pool play and how can they extend it over into bracket play. Just an unfortunate turn of events, but we know that these boys are talented, and we know that they can play some good baseball. We just didn't quite get there today. So great effort by Complete Athlete, and we'll wish them safe travels back to Minnesota after their tournament is over. We will see you guys again here, I believe, next weekend, and we'll announce that here later in the week. So thanks again for joining us here on YouTube and Twitter. If you guys did join us, please give a like to our video and consider a subscribe. We appreciate any of that effort there. So that'll be all for us today here out at Capitol Federal Sports Complex in Liberty, Missouri. Thanks for joining us, folks.